Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this special, fun-packed edition of the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
You know, you sound almost like Barry White there a little bit.
Hey, baby.
Everybody might go ahead.
Well, hello there. You might get my Obi-Wan Kenobi voice on there.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, Mike, thanks for being here. Everybody, Mike is under the weather. He has been sick all week long.
Yeah.
So he's being a trooper today.
I'm held together by bubble gum, rubber band, and duct tape.
Oh, goodness. Well, he's going to troop through this, everybody. I'm excited about today's show because we, if you can tell by the thumbnail, we are starting kind of a new series that we'll do from time to time, but specifically on what if. And we thought it'd be fun to do what if Mara Jade was an Inquisitor. And we are going to, all of us together, we are going to make a story using Chat GPT. So I will explain that here just ever so briefly. It is a really cool AI system that came out in November. I've kind of followed it since it came out, and I was doing the playground version of OpenAI is the company. They have a playground version that was really limited but really powerful. Let me rephrase it. It was really powerful but limited in the amount of prompts or information you could give, as well as the amount of information you would get back. Like, it was just limited to so many characters. And so Chat GPT does not have that limitation. I even asked the AI about prompts and how long they need to be, and it said, oh, it could be as long or short as you want it. So
did you happen to ask it if its parent company was Skynet by any chance?
Right.
Right. You know, this is the rise of the robots. This is when they take over, they come after us, they kill us.
Right.
They're gathering information right now. That's what they're doing.
They sure are. Since
they're teaming up with Amazon, with Alexa and Siri and
Google and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Yes. So, everybody, I'll talk more about that. Once we get to the main segment, we do have our, our. Do you have any news for today?
I do not.
That's okay. You've been sick all week, and that is okay. That is all right.
I have no news whatsoever. Yeah, and I'm not even going to really do.
Okay.
We could do our weekly James Gunn bitch session. Which is what the news seems to have turned into.
Right. Yeah.
I'm always up for complaining about it.
Yeah. Well, for mine, and I guess I should play we should do the whole weekly, because my geeky news is half geeky. It's my Geekdar and geeky news all at once, if that makes sense.
You want the news intro?
Yeah, let's do the news intro. Welcome to our geeky news segment. Here we go. All right. How many of you out there are D&D fans? When I was a kid, I got my first little starter set. Angie's in the background. Everybody going, I am too. I've enjoyed D&D, as a kid, or really, in essence, D&D was my doorway. It was my gateway.
Stephen, the pastor, the Baptist pastor.
I know, right?
You heathen, you.
I know, when I was a kid, yeah. Well, it was my gateway drug into the role-playing game world. I'll put it that way.
I'm really surprised your parents allowed that.
Right? That's a whole nother story. But anyway.
Okay.
But then I got into Middle Earth role-playing. And then I got into GURP, which is Generic Universal Role Playing System.
Right.
And then you and we did DC Heroes.
Yep. I got you in trouble.
So
that was funny.
Yeah. There's some stories that just cannot be retold. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. So I enjoy it. So I followed along. So I'm gonna truncate this. Those of you who are big DD&D fans probably already know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to keep this brief.
And me and Brenda, we played oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it. Starts with a P. Gosh, Nerdery and Murdery just did an episode on it a couple months ago too, and I can't think of it. Yeah.
Oh, really? It'll come to you. Penguin fell off the iceberg, everybody.
Yeah. Palladium.
Palladium. Yeah. Okay.
The penguin emerged from the ice.
It came back. Right. So D&D has what's called an OGL, an open gaming license. In other words, they had given permission, this is like 20 years ago. They had given permission for communities to use their materials for gaming. So if someone wanted to create their own stories, they could create their own stories. If someone wanted to make videos of them playing D&D and stuff, they did that. And
10 billion YouTube videos.
Yeah, and you've got groups like Critical Role that's what they were doing and stuff. And they're not the only ones. There's a Viva La Dirt League they had opened up one like 6 months ago where they were just playing D&D and stuff. And so what occurred this last week, there was an announcement made that they were redefining that open gaming license. And there is a quote from who the head of Wizards of the Coast is. Wizards of the Coast owns D&D. Wizards of the Coast, also known as WotC sometimes, is owned by Hasbro. And the head of Wizards of the Coast has been quoted saying, hey, there's some revenue there we're missing. Now, I'm paraphrasing, kind of a thing. And so lo and behold, they thought, well, we should be getting some money like, how video games do microtransactions kind of a thing. We're missing the boat on some of this. And so there should be some royalties in essence. And so they were going to change their thing. Sage Page, welcome, brother.
Good morning.
So glad you're here. And so with Sage, you may know about this. I'm talking about the D&D fiasco this week. So they were going to change it and start... they were going to start asking for royalties. They were like, if you're under 50,000, blah, 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 you're okay. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're making more than that, we want some of the money. And they're not the only company that does this. I mean, Nintendo for a long time has been that way with YouTubers and stuff like that, and playing the games. But what was really crazy is they were changing all the rules, and there's a lot of these small companies that, of course, they're making more than 50,000 because they're trying to make a living doing something that they love. And it was like D&D took the rug out from under them. So the community went bonkers this week. I mean, bonkers. They were like, this is blah, 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 beep, 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 beep. And so then what happens next is a lot of D&D users were canceling their D&D Beyond subscriptions, which is, the digital subscription, and you can get your manuals on there digitally and make them searchable and all this kind of play, blah, blah, blah. And so D&D was going to roll out they were going to make an announcement on Thursday about what that OGL would look like. Because there were some leaks this week from, evidently there's turmoil amongst the employees and management at D&D. And so some things were leaked out, which in all essence, some people say, no, these were the actual documents of the OGL that were going to come out, 1.1, version 1.1 kind of a thing. And so details came out that it was just crazy and they were going to be able to change it again and all this kind of stuff. So the community was upset. That's that part of the story. The next part of the story is there is a rival company called Paizo. Paizo is the publisher. They're responsible for Starfinder, Pathfinder, and several other role-playing systems. And they came out since because of all the backlash, D&D did not release their statement on Thursday like they said they would, but Paizo did. They said, and I'm gonna keep this short. I'm not even gonna read it because it's just too long to read. But they say this. They say, "Hey," they're like, "We just want you to know that while they have not responded, while D&D has not responded, we will. One, we are creating with our attorneys an open gaming license, an OGL, for all of our products, along with some other companies. We are banding together to create an OGL that will give you free reign to do what the D&D OGL was meant to be 20 years ago, that you can use it however you want, create your own stories." And people are like, "What? They're throwing down the gauntlet," kind of a thing. And so, which was really cool. And they said, and now let's address the whole thing with D&D. Says they've said our products at 2.0 with Pathfinder, we moved away from the D&D format, and ours are totally separate, so we can do this. But then they said, we understand there's a lot of small companies out there that can't do the legal thing that needs to be done. Brian, hey Brian, welcome. So here's what happened. They said, we're willing to go to court over this because what they're doing is not what the OGL was meant to be. And they said, the reason we know this is, they said this was great. They said, we were there. We were there when that open gaming license was created. It's like, mind blown, kind of a thing, because they were like, hey, there's some of the people who are on their team. There's the attorneys that they work with were there. I mean, some of their leadership was there. We knew what the original intent was, and it was never meant to be replaced. It was always there to save it. And so, so Paizo, Paizo, has stated, we're going to institute this. We're moving away from D&D. Please check out our stuff. Not only that, they are also, and we're not an affiliate sponsor. It'd be cool if we were, but they're doing 25% off their products in the store. If you go to their blog site, it'll give you more information and stuff. But they're like, we want to encourage the gaming community and know that we're going to continue. And there's a lot of people who say D&D has totally lost trust.
I have a question for you. How do you think this is going to affect their movie coming out? Is it going to have any effect on the release of the movie? Do you think
I bet you it will.
You want to see it? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the timing of this is
interesting. Their leadership has no forethought, no foresight. Yeah. So I think it's going to kill their movie. Of course, what they're going to say is, or the movie's really bad. And then they'll blame it on, well, it was because they made this announcement. Either way, I don't think that movie is going to do well and stuff. Sage Page says, I like how Kobold is still pressing forward through by putting contingency plans just in case something happens. LOL. They're like, let's see what happens. LOL. So Kobold is another company. I believe, is that right? That does I'm trying to remember Kobold. It's another, they do a lot of stuff with D&D, right, Sage Page? I think they do. They create stories and stuff. And I think part of the problem is some of these people were making better stories than D&D proper was, kind of a thing. So yeah. Okay.
Well, that's probably the thing that that happens over time. D&D starts and they become big, and they're the leader of the industry and such.
Right.
Then you get smaller little upstart companies coming up, and then they end up getting better at it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see happening here.
Yep.
My role playing is limited to, like you said, DC. I did DC for a short time. Star Wars. We did a couple Star Wars campaigns. That was a fun game. And then we did more of it's like a starter role playing game called Hero Quest.
Oh
Hero
yeah,
Hero Quest is amazing, actually.
yeah.
And if you have Hero Quest, the original Hero Quest, the game's worth a lot of money.
I know. I had it when I was a kid,
Oh,
when
I
I was
still got it.
younger. Do you still got
I
yours?
still got it. In fact, we had bought a second set in order to amp up all of our characters and add more stuff to it and everything. So I
Yeah.
have like 2 sets. I got 2 extra campaigns. But there's a brand new set that just came out. I think it's like $75 or $80 to buy that brand new set. But yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Well, all right. Well, that's I could go on for that. Almost could do a whole show on it, kind of talk about that realm. But I want us to get to our awesome topic today. I'm so excited. So, are we ready to
Oh,
hit the?
sorry,
That's all right.
I went off of.
That's okay. That's all right.
Forgive me, I'm not running full speed here
That
today.
is okay. We're hanging out and having a good time. I guess I could get to the sounder actually, if you want me to.
I
We're
just
so
found-
used to who does what.
It's time for the main event.
All right, everybody. Here we go. Today on Two Geeks and a Microphone, we are going to do some storytelling, and I'm very excited about this because one of the things that we had kind of played around with was having a new series called What If. And in this series of different stories or different episodes, and this will be kind of off and on, it's not like the next 4 or 5 episodes. It's not like that. We'll just do it periodically. But we thought it'd be cool is what if some of the characters that we beloved went through something, or there's a story that we want to hear with that character. So we're kind of doing some fan fiction, for lack of a better term, but with the help of AI, specifically Chat GPT. And so we said, what if Mara Jade was an Inquisitor?
Now, I'd like to add to this. The reason this came about. Okay, well, first of all, Mara Jade is one of my top 10 Star Wars characters. She's always has been. In fact, our first or second episode,
First episode was Mara Jade.
was Mara Jade, and I had my thoughts of how Mara Jade could actually fix the sequel trilogy, and I still think she could. But speaking of that, Steven, do you realize that we are on the verge of our 2nd anniversary?
We are very exciting, very exciting. And we're about to hit some other major milestones too.
Yeah, that's true. January 15th marks our 2nd year, so it'll be 2 years that we've been doing this.
January? Is it January 5th? That's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
What? I keep thinking it was February when we started, but
Nope,
okay.
we started in January. In fact, I posted I posted to my personal page. You had posted your Amazon, not Alexa, but whatever, the video one, playing our intro for the show.
Yeah.
On and announcing that we were starting our show on January 15th. But anyway, the reason this idea came up is because I saw some artwork on Facebook that somebody put out.
Yes.
And I should have got the name of the artist. I apologize, I didn't. But he did a rendition of both Mara Jade and Star Killer from the Force Unleashed video game series as Inquisitors. And beautiful artwork. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this. This is a fantastic way to bring both of those characters into the current Star Wars universe, because there's a lot of us that love Mara Jade, and there's a lot of us that love Star Killer. And let's face it, everyone wants Sam Witwer to play him.
Right. Right.
I would want it no other way. But my thinking was, wait a minute. So if anything else, Dave Filoni should be using this. This is perfect means for him to bring Mara Jade into the current Star Wars universe. So I threw it out to Steven. Hey, how about if we do a what if episode? What if Mara Jade and
Yeah.
what if Starkiller were to be Inquisitor? So that's where this
Yep.
all originated from.
Yep. All right. So here's how this is going to work, everybody. We are going to use ChatGPT. I've played around with this. I have another story that I've been working on for some time, and I gave it the synopsis. So we need to do the same thing. This is how this is going to work. And have ChatGPT help us tell the story. But we're kind of need to brainstorm here a little bit together. I thought that was kind of fun to create that synopsis, what the overarching story may look like. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the screen. Dun, 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 dun. Give me just a second, everybody.
This is where Skynet takes over.
This is where Skynet takes over. So we're going to do a Chat GPT. If you're not familiar with it, it is at chat.openai.com/chat. It is free right now. They are going to introduce a quote unquote professional plan where you do have to pay for it. Their OpenAI does already have a paid plan. It's not real expensive. It's like 2 cents for 1,000 words, 750 to 1,000 words, just kind of depending. But right now, Chat GPT doesn't really have those limitations, which is why a lot of people are using it for the time being. So I'm going to just say I'm typing at the bottom. It's hard to see because we're covering it up. Our faces are, but I need help in writing a fan fiction Star Wars story, starring Mara Jade, as being introduced as an Inquisitor, using the more information you give ChatGPT, the more specific, that's the key. Using the hero's journey outline from a villain becoming a hero. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Let's see what it says. So sure, I can help you with that. Here is a basic outline of the hero's journey for a villain becoming a hero with Mara Jade as Inquisitor. Okay, it's going to have like 10 items. I will stop and then I will read kind of a thing.
Wow.
Right. And then we will.
Now, while it's doing that.
Yes.
See, I think this is the perfect avenue to bring Mara Jade in, because Mara Jade originally, she was introduced in the Heir to the Empire series written by Timothy Zahn, which is one of my all-time favorite Star Wars series. And she was introduced as what was known as the Emperor's Hand. And the Emperor's Hand was basically the Emperor's secret assassin. So no one knew about Mara Jade. No one knew that she existed.
Yeah.
And according to the story, she actually was physically there when Luke battled Vader, and that battle at the end of Return of the Jedi that leads up to Vader killing, well, quote unquote killing, because after all, he somehow returned.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go into my sequel bashing here, but sorry. Anyway, she was actually there and witnessed it, which made her, for lack of a better term, jaded against Luke Skywalker.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we'll bring that in here. So in a little bit, everybody, we're just using this as kind of a prompt for us and a prompt for ChatGPT, and kind of work together to create this story. So keep that in mind, Mike, because we're going to do, after we kind of walk through the 12 steps here, 12 steps, that sounded funny, the hero's journey. We then will create our story synopsis, and then we'll kind of have ChatGPT restate that story synopsis. And I have reasons for that. I'll explain later. And then I'll have it divvy it up into chapters, and then I'll have it start filling those in. So it's going to be a little fun. We're creating a story all together, everybody. So one of the elements I want to get though is, Mike, you just said about Mara Jade being there at Luke's battle.
Correct.
Okay. And then Sage Page put in here, what if there was a fight between Mara Jade and Ahsoka?
Oh, that is tough, Sage. Boy, you like to make things hard on me, don't you?
All right.
I guess that would depend on actually where Mara Jade is in her journey. Is she still an Inquisitor? If she's an Inquisitor, I want Ahsoka to win. If she's not an Inquisitor, she shouldn't be battling Ahsoka.
Well, my thoughts, I want to see where the Chat GPT goes, but we'll, in our story synopsis, maybe I'll put something up. Let's read through what Chat GPT gave us on the journey.
Oh, but that would be a fantastic battle, by the way.
It would be. It would be.
Gosh.
All right. The Ordinary World. Mara Jade is a skilled Inquisitor for the Galactic Empire, tasked with hunting down and eliminating Jedi. She is a loyal servant of the Emperor, and she is convinced that her actions are necessary for the preservation of the Empire. The Call to Adventure. Mara is assigned to track down and capture a rogue Jedi Knight, who turns out to be the main protagonist of your story. As she pursues the Jedi, she begins to question her own beliefs and the true nature of the Empire. We could have that as Ahsoka, or it could be it's revenge to Luke. The refusal of the call. Mara initially resists the Jedi's attempts to turn her to the light side, believing that the Empire is the only true path to peace. Meeting with a mentor. The Jedi Knight serves as a mentor to Mara, teaching her about the ways of the Force and the true nature of the Empire's actions. Then crossing the threshold. Mara decides to join the Jedi and turn against the Empire, leaving her old life behind and embracing the light side of the Force. Tests allies and enemies. Mara faces challenges as she adapts to her new role as a Jedi and battles against her former comrades in the Empire. Approach to the Inmost Cave. Mara must confront her own personal demons and confront her past as an Inquisitor. 8. Ordeal. Mara must face a final test, perhaps a duel with a powerful Imperial enemy to prove her commitment to the light side. Reward, or / seizing the sword. Mara emerges victorious and fully embraces her role as a Jedi. The road back. Mara joins the rebellion and fights to bring down the Empire and restore freedom to the galaxy. 11. Resurrection. Mara's actions have a significant impact on the galaxy, and she becomes a hero in the eyes of the people. Ooh. Then 12. Return with the elixir. Mara returns to the Jedi Temple as a fully fledged Jedi Knight, ready to continue to protect the galaxy and bring balance to the Force.
Wow. That's pretty darn good, actually.
That was all done by Chat GPT.
Holy cow.
Now's the opportunity for us to create some insights. Sage Page, Mara and Starkiller versus Ahsoka and Anakin. Battle of the Century, LOL.
Oh my gosh. My head would explode.
Right. Kaboom. Listen, guys. Go ahead, Mike.
I do like the idea of maybe throwing Ahsoka into that role as the Jedi that Mara's after. That's not a bad idea.
Okay.
That could be interesting.
All right. So I'm going to say
I hope that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, if you're listening, we want this to happen.
All right, here is our story synopsis. So, with some details. Okay. So first off, we're going to say, let's see. What if she was a love interest with Darth Maul and had to end up fighting him?
Ew. Wait.
Ew.
I don't think Darth Maul has any love interests.
Right. Well, he's in love with himself.
Well, and the dark side. That's
right?
The only thing. Yeah.
All right. So the story begins with Mara Jade already already
Inquisitor?
as a special secret
There we go.
assassin. You guys will. Sometimes my brain just cannot. Okay, assassin
And this is
visitor
this
for
is my
the
secret
emperor.
typing because I can't spell.
Emperor. Okay, for the emperor. For the emperor. Okay. She is tasked with pursuing Anakin Skywalker's old apprentice,
There we go.
Ahsoka Tano. I'm good.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Let's see. The first couple of chapters introduce characters, introduce the characters, as well as the pursuits. Chapter 3 is where no. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, you guys. The reason I'm doing that is I just want to give the details, and then I want it to do a chapter. I may tell it to do have each chapter correlate the stage in the journey. Does that make sense? So we should come out with 12 chapters. She used task force. Mara Jade encounters Ahsoka, and a battle ensues. A dramatic lightsaber battle ensues. During the battle, Ahsoka, what's the word? Argues what's the word when you're trying to convince someone? You're having an intellectual argument. Debates. Argues and debates with Mara about the dangers of the empire, of the galactic empire.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Do it. Sage Page got some insights. Brenda, I missed something with you said. That may be why he fully embraces the
dark side.
Oh, with the love. You're still on the Darth Maul love story?
I'm not going on the Darth Maul love story.
I can't handle that. Yeah. I do not want a love triangle with Darth Maul, Luke Skywalker, and Mara Jade. Mara,
I just threw up in my mouth a little on that one.
Yep. Mara hates Ahsoka because she feels she made Anakin weak, where she makes Vader stronger. I'm gonna add that, Sage. That's good. Mara hates. I'm gonna add that. Hates.
Oh, that is good,
Ahsoka,
Sage.
Because she feels that Ahsoka made Anakin weak. Where this is fun. Thanks, Sage. Whereas Mara makes Vader stronger.
Oh, I like
Mara
that a lot.
is the better apprentice. Oh,
wait a minute. She's the much more better.
Is the I'm gonna put that in. Much more better. much more better apprentice. Okay. All right. So then, okay. So what are some other details we want? Let's see. Eventually, Ahsoka um, uh, Ahsoka's arguments or Ahsoka's um, Ahsoka's discussion causes Mara to rethink her role in the Galactic Empire, but is not yet convinced. Ahsoka escapes due to wounding Mara, where she has to rest and recoup. Once healed, Mara continues her pursuit. In the meantime, Mara comes across a fellow assassin, two S's, assassin Inquisitor named. Anybody want a fun name? Anybody got a good name? Anybody want to?
Oh gosh, I'm not good with Star Wars names because they're so weird.
Named.
Can you tell it to give us a Star Wars name?
Andrew said Caden.
Caden.
What'd you say?
Caden.
Caden. I'm trying to think if that's ever been used.
Caden Roth. I'm just making that up.
Yeah, it works. All right, let's go with it. Let's roll with it.
Somebody better do a Google search. Make sure we're not copying a name. Caden Roth. They work together on an ambush of a rebellion outpost. Caden's actions
Thanks.
Caden's actions cause Mara to realize the brutality of the Empire. At this point, she breaks off to pursue Ahsoka. She finds Ahsoka and begins to learn the ways of the Farce. Anything I need to add or change or anything? I'm just typing.
No, I think you wrote the whole story.
Yeah, well, you want to give as much detail to Chat GPT.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay. Eventually, Ahsoka and Mara fight side by side. Yet Mara encounters Caden for a climactic battle.
Nice.
Okay. Anything else we want to add? Anybody? Anything?
Bueller.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, I'm just going to push enter. Let's see what it says. That sounds like an exciting story. Here's an outline and then incorporates the elements you've mentioned. So it's already rewriting it. It's rewriting the hero's journey on its own. I was going to tell it to do that next.
It's probably programmed to use the hero's journey, I'll bet.
No, you can tell it to do different things. I could
Well,
even
I
tell it.
know.
I could even tell it to write in the style of Stephen King.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey is used in just about every adventure,
Right.
out
Okay.
there.
So here we go. Let's go. The ordinary word.
Nice.
Mara Jade is a skilled inquisitor for the Galactic Empire and is tasked with hunting down and eliminating Jedi. She is a loyal servant of the Emperor and is convinced that her actions are necessary for the preservation of the Empire. Call to adventure. Mara is assigned to track down and capture Anakin Skywalker's old apprentice Ahsoka Tano. Refusal of the call. Mara initially resists Ahsoka's attempts to turn her to the light side, believing that the Empire is the only true path to peace. Meeting with a mentor, Ahsoka serves as a mentor to Mara, teaching her about the ways of the Force and the true nature of the Empire's actions. Crossing the threshold, Mara is injured in a lightsaber battle with Ahsoka and must rest and recoup. Test allies and enemies, Mara encounters a fellow Inquisitor named Caden Roth and works with him on an ambush of rebellion outpost, but is horrified by his brutal tactics. Okay. Approach the innermost cave. Mara is faced with a decision to continue serving the Empire or turn against it. Ordeal. Mara must face a final test, a duel with Caden to prove her commitment to the light side. Mara emerges victorious and joins the rebellion. The road back. She fights along Ahsoka and the rebellion to bring down the Empire and restore freedom. Resurrection. Mara's actions have a significant impact on the galaxy, and she becomes a hero in the eyes of the people. Return with the elixir. Mara returns to the Jedi Temple as a fully fledged Jedi Knight, ready to continue to protect the galaxy and bring balance to the Force. Okay.
Nice.
So now I'm going to say, with all that, please rewrite the synopsis and details into a new story synopsis in paragraph form with passion and emotion. No, that sounds kind of weird. Using the best SEO and marketing techniques. Or, no, I don't want to say that. That's usually for YouTube stuff. Passion and emotion written in the style of a Hollywood blockbuster movie. How's that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
You like that? Okay, here we go. Boom. All right, I'll start reading, everybody. In a galaxy far, far away, the Galactic Empire is at the peak of power, led by the ruthless Emperor Palpatine. Among his most trusted servants is the skilled and deadly Inquisitor, Mara Jade. She is tasked. Oh, man, I'm going to have to wait till it's done because it keeps scrolling up the screen.
So Brenda commented, what if she saves Leia and Han's firstborn son, and that is the thing that makes her a hero? I kind of want to leave Leia and Han out of this.
Sage says, surprise twist, dun, dun, dun. Now Mara overthrows Jedi Temple from inside, single-handedly defeating each and ridding the galaxy of Jedi once and for all, then returning to her master saying mission complete.
That's funny.
Oh, gosh. All right, here we go. Let me start over, everybody. Sorry. In a galaxy far, far away, the Galactic Empire is at its peak of power, led by the ruthless Emperor Palpatine. Amongst his most trusted servants is the skilled and deadly Inquisitor, Mara Jade. She is tasked with a secret mission to hunt down and eliminate the last remaining Jedi, including Anakin Skywalker's former apprentice, Ahsoka Tano. The story begins with a thrilling lightsaber battle between Mara and Ahsoka as the Inquisitor relentlessly pursues her quarry. But as the fight rages on, Ahsoka speaks to Mara about the dangers of the Empire and the true nature of the dark side. Ahsoka's words begin to plant seeds of doubt in Mara's mind, but she remains convinced that the Empire is the only path to peace. As Mara recuperates from her injury, she encounters another Inquisitor, Caden Roth. They work together on an ambush of a rebel outpost, but Mara is horrified by Caden's brutal tactics. This causes her to rethink her role in the Empire, and she breaks off to continue her pursuit of Ahsoka. As she hunts her former enemy, Mara begins to learn the ways of the Force and soon finds herself questioning everything she once believed. Ahsoka becomes her mentor, teaching her about the power of the light side and the true evil of the Empire. But their journey is not without danger, as the Empire will stop at nothing to eliminate the rogue Inquisitor. Finally, the ultimate showdown begins between ultimate showdown between Mara and Caden, the two Inquisitors, takes place. With Ahsoka by her side, Mara faces her former comrade in an epic duel that will determine the fate of the galaxy. As the battle rages on, Mara must confront her past and the atrocities she has committed in the name of the Empire. In the end, she emerges victorious and joins the rebellion, ready to fight for freedom and justice. The story of Mara Jade's journey from a loyal servant of the Empire to hero of the rebellion is one of passion, emotion, and redemption.
Nice.
As she fights along Ahsoka and the rebellion, Mara becomes a symbol of hope in the darkest of times. This is a Hollywood blockbuster movie that will keep you at the edge of your seat, with its thrilling action, compelling characters, and the powerful themes of good versus evil.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I think we just interjected Mara Jade into the Star Wars universe,
right?
Into the current Star Wars universe.
Right.
That's cool.
So now we can probably even get more specific. So now that we have the synopsis and we've built all of that, now it's a matter of how do we continue on, or how do we give it more detail? Sage says that story alone is already better than anything involving Andor and Rey Skywalker. Sage, you made him laugh. Now he's gonna start coughing. Oh, that's so funny. Oh gosh.
I think I just lost some of the duct tape.
Oh golly. Okay, now. All right, so I'm going to say
agreed, Sage. 100%.
With all that, so just kind of telling it with everything that you've done before, and normally it does that already, but I like to with the new synopsis, break down with story details into 7 chapters. We'll just say 7 chapters because into 7 chapters, seven chapters using.
Wait a minute! Did we just write Ahsoka season 1?
Right. Right. If we did it as a TV show, yeah. Into 7. I could say 7 episodes. 7,
yeah, why don't you do that?
Breaking into 7 episodes.
Why not?
Well, it's really kind of going for a small ebook kind of style.
Well, okay, all right. Yeah, go back to chapters because we could put this on our Ko-fi page as an ebook then.
Right.
But, oh my gosh, I think we just wrote season 1 of Ahsoka.
Right. Breakdown with story detail.
Or at least Skynet did.
Using the story arc you provided. Boom.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, see, now it's going to do it.
Oh, it's giving you like chapter names and everything too.
Well, the chapter names is just the hero's journey stuff.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I see that. Yep. But you could actually tell it to replace those with proper chapter names, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, it's all how you want to do it. Yeah. So
Right.
here's what it's done. So it kind of redid it. So it said the ordinary world. Mara Jade is introduced as an Inquisitor. She's a loyal servant of the Empire. So chapter 1 is just introducing her as a character.
Right.
Then chapter 2 looks like where she meets Ahsoka. Chapter 3 is where she resists the call.
Okay. Yep.
Chapter 4 is Caden Roth, and then that whole sequence, and then going back to Ahsoka. Chapter 5 is her decision.
Okay.
Chapter 6 is they're pursued by the Empire, and they have to. So there's a big battle and stuff. Then 7 is the final showdown. It's chapter 7 is the final showdown.
Oh, sorry.
Right. It's the final showdown. Dun, dun. I'm sorry. All right. So now watch this. Please provide detail. Please provide more detail for chapter 1, including dialogue. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Let me try that. Everybody, okay, here we go. Sure, here's an example of what chapter 1 could look like. It's doing it as it did pick up. When I said blockbuster movie, that probably put it in there. So yeah.
Oh yeah, because as the camera pans over, that's cool.
Oh my goodness, it's writing it out, you guys. I have not experienced this. This is the first time I told it to do dialogue.
I'm telling you, the robots are coming. Come with me if you want to live.
Right. Okay, so chapter 1, the ordinary world. The camera pans over the desolate landscape, the ruins of the once great city smoldering in the background. A lone figure, clad in black armor, walks through the rubble, her lightsaber in hand. Mara Jade, the Inquisitor, speaks in a cold, emotionless voice. The Jedi are a threat to the Empire. They must be eliminated no matter the cost. She reaches a group of Imperial stormtroopers who bow in respect. Imperial commander says,
I love it.
What?
The stormtroopers bowing in respect to
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love it. That's awesome.
It says, Inquisitor Jade, we have received word of a rogue Jedi in the sector. Your mission is to capture or eliminate her. Mara, I will not fail. The Empire's enemies will fall before me. She turns and walks towards her awaiting TIE fighter. Mara, to herself, I'm the Emperor's instrument. I will do whatever it takes to protect the Empire. The camera follows Mara as she takes off in her TIE fighter, heading towards her next target. As the camera pulls back, the audience gets a sense of the scope of the story and the world that the story is set in. The audience also gets an introduction to the main protagonist and her character with a sense of her beliefs and where she stands and how she views the Jedi. The audience also understands her role as an Inquisitor and her loyalty to the Empire. What do you guys think?
Nice.
Sage Page. I love how the chat website is designed to Steven skip writing notes and going straight to the movie review. Forget the episodes. I want to know the results. I forget the episodes. I want to know the results.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So Steve, we could tell this to write in the style of Timothy Zahn then.
Yes. So let me do the same for chapter 2, but in the style of Timothy Zahn. So give me a second.
You broke it.
I know I broke it.
You broke the Terminators.
Right. So let's go back here. I'm gonna sometimes it does this because there are a lot of people on this, and so
Okay.
There was error generating a response.
You broke it, Steven.
I sure did.
You broke Skynet.
Yeah. There was an error generating a response. So there, it even said there's a lot due to high demand in our system. Previous conversations were temporarily unavailable. So,
regardless, this made a great outline of a awesome way to bring Mara Jade into the current Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Holy
let's
cow,
see
Dave
here.
Filoni and John Favreau. I hope you are listening to this or
Right.
watching.
I'm going to. Let's do this. Let me copy this. Let me see if I can do that. I probably. Oops. Copy. All right. So I'm going to go back here. Let's say Control V for chapter 2.
Okay.
And let's just do it that way and hit.
Nope.
Yep. So
well,
it may be broken.
Oh wait, what did it say?
Disney, this is how you write Star Wars. Fire your team and start using this because this is Star Wars I would watch / read.
Oh, I love it. Yep, you're absolutely right. Oh,
one of the nice things is it does save it. So I could.
Brenda just asked, can we save this and go back to it?
Yes, it does. Now I'll be open with you. I'm probably gonna copy and paste this into a Word document, and the reason being is because it's I have this feature of it saving it is new. So I noticed I had done some stuff last week and it didn't save it. And it did save it, but then when I went back to it a day or two ago, it wasn't there anymore. So you can go back eventually, but like previous conversations are temporarily unavailable just because, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. ChatGPT in its first month got 1 million subscribers, which no other social media platform or thing has ever been able to do. And so their system is overloaded, really. And so there's certain times a day and stuff that you could do this. Let's see if we can do it again. Save and submit.
No.
Well,
we're coming up on our hour mark anyway, so
we are. So, well, yeah. So I will save this and enjoy. So let me stop screening. Wow, we are at our hour mark. Everybody, what'd you guys think about that?
I hope everyone liked it. Because we want to do this again, but we want to do it with Star Killer next.
We are. Yeah, we're gonna do Star Killer next. And who was the other? We had a third one. I wrote it down.
My idea was Sailboth.
Sailboth. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Jedi from Heir to the Empire. Probably a lesser known character, outside of hardcore Star Wars fans.
Gotcha.
But I think Sailboth would be an interesting character to possibly bring into the new canon and such. So it'll be fun to play around with some ideas on him.
So. Right. Sage Page says I massively enjoyed this. Brenda said I thought that was pretty cool. Sage Page goes, I would love for you guys. I'll put that on screen. I should be doing that. Says I would love for you guys to make a story including a Marvel and DC crossover.
Oh, I like that idea. That may be another future what if. Okay, that's a good idea.
Right.
Now Marvel and DC have done a few crossovers in the past.
Right.
There's been a Spider-Man, Superman crossover comic book. There was also some Avengers versus the Justice League, which actually some of that got reissued this past year when what's his face died. One of the artists from Teen Titans. I cannot think. When George Perez passed away this past year. Unfortunately, it was way more than I could expect. I could spend on it. So, because it was a hardback, beautiful edition that was re-released, and it was very, very expensive. And the proceeds actually went to, well, originally they were going to his medical expenses for because he had prostate cancer. And I think now anything that's sold of that is just going to like cancer research or something to that extent. So yeah, there have been a couple of actual official Marvel DC. There was also the Marvel DC amalgamation series that came out in the early 2000s, I want to say, or late 90s. And it was basically Stan Lee's. If Stan Lee had done the DC universe, and he actually joined up with DC artists and such, and gave his ideas on his Batman and his Superman and some weird stuff. But then there's like the ideas of putting DC and Marvel characters and mixing them, like Batclaw, which is Batman and Wolverine, or Darkclaw. Darkclaw, that's what he was called. Actually, he's pretty awesome. I like Darkclaw. So yeah. But that's not a bad idea. I like that idea. So we'll put that in the back of our minds for a future What If episode.
Yeah. So wow. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun just to see what would happen as we were putting in stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to more what ifs and stuff. I'll see what I can do, everybody, about plans and see if I can get it to flesh out the rest of it. It can't unable to load history. Oh yeah, I better copy this real quick. Yeah.
Excuse me. Don't lose that.
Right. That is true. So I will make sure I get it all right now before I forget. And copy. And hang on a second. Sorry, everybody. I just want to get this so I don't lose it because it looks like their site's having some trouble. Okay, cool beans. All right. Well, with that, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. Actually, I enjoyed the interactions. I had some great laughs with you guys. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And if you have made it this far, please remember to like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook and like us on YouTube, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notifications of our future episodes.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, this episode is brought to you by StreamYard. So StreamYard, look below in the descriptions below, and you will see a link there to StreamYard, more about it, just to learn about it, stuff like that. So, all right. Well, with that stated, Mike, I'll leave it to you to close this out.
Or audio.
Audible? We'll do that one at a different one. I'll do a separate one.
All right. Yeah, I don't have anything else other than, Mara Jade has always been a beloved character to me since the early 90s when Heir to the Empire was released. I absolutely love her character, and I would be over the moon if Favreau and Filoni brought her into the current Star Wars timeline. I would love to see that. And being the fact that they've brought Ahsoka into live action, they've introduced, gosh, I can't think of everything. Anyway, it's not out of the imagination that they could do this. So, Filoni, Favreau, here you go. We just wrote the story for you. All right. With that said, anything else, Steven?
Nope. I'm good. That was great. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Over and out. And may the Force be with you always.
Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.